Alright guys, so the point of this video is to give you guys some demonstrations of different dynamic and stationary warm-ups. I'm going to go through it like that ramp protocol, so raise, activate, mobilize, and then potentiation. Okay, so we'll be talking about this in class when you guys are in here with me, but like I said, this is just recording to show you guys these different movements so you guys kind of have this to look back at. Okay, so we're going to start with raise. So raising that body temperature, your blood flow, getting the viscosity of your joints and the fluid within that a little more ready to go for your activity. Okay, so one option is jumping jacks. Another would be over-unders. My feet are crossing in front of each other. Another option, jump rope, okay? Jogging, if you have a row machine, okay? High knees, if you put your hands out in front of you, about at your chest height, trying to get your knees up to your hands. A couple other jump options that we went over, okay, are lateral bounds, jumping side to side, jump squats, hands at your hips, okay? So once again, all of these are to raise your body's level of preparedness, okay? Your temperature within your body. So most of this stuff's gonna be about moderate paced, okay? It's not gonna be super intense, okay? So if you're doing jumps, you're not necessarily looking for max effort yet. You're not there yet, okay? Most of the stuff, like I said, it's gonna be more of continual movement, getting that body ready to go. So that's the raise portion. Next, we're gonna move to activate and mobilize, okay? We'll start with some stationary stuff and then we'll move to that dynamic stretching. Cat-cows, you're on your hands and knees. You're gonna arch your back and then push your belly button to the ground, looking up to the sky, okay? Big range of motion through that spine. Another option is reach through, so you're still in that quadruped position, taking that hand, reaching through. Back up, take the other side, reach through. You just alternate side to side like that. Another option is iron crosses. Legs out straight, hands in a T position. Raising one leg up, over to the opposite side. Fire hydrant series. There's a lot of different types of movements for this. I'm just gonna go over 2 or 3, okay? Fire hydrants, it's just gonna be knees bent at 90, raises straight to the side, elbows stay locked out, back is flat, okay? Another option, kickbacks, legs straight back, squeeze that glute. Your leg is only coming parallel to the ground. 45-degree raises. Leg isn't gonna be straight out to the side nor straight back, so we're splitting the difference about 45 degrees. Raises straight up in the air. Last one would be circles. Okay, so you can go knee in to out or knee out to in. Okay, so those are different quadruped movements or fire hydrant series. There's a lot of joint rolls or ranges of motion that you can go through. You can start at the neck, okay? You can go chin tucks, back and forth there, from the side, okay? Ear to shoulder. Once again, these are all neck mobility movements. Chin to shoulder. And neck rolls. Each direction. Shoulder rolls, forward and back. Arm circles, forward and back, side to side. hip circles. You go both directions with this big range of motion. Feet a little wider for this one, just to be able to open up. Okay. Hip pop-ups. With this one, your feet are gonna be about shoulder width apart, toes can be slightly out, kind of like a squat position. You're gonna reach your hands to your toes. Legs are straight or almost straight. You're gonna squat down, elbows are on the inside, and from here, you pop up and back down. It's the hip pop-up. V-sit to roll back, so I'm gonna roll back, shoot my legs, V-sit, reach forward. Each time I sit up, I'm trying to get just a little further than I did the last time, okay? So that's about all we have for the stationary movements. Okay, if you want to look up some different ones, there's plenty more out there, but that's just kind of what we went over in class. All right, and just some options there. So like I said, you can definitely use other ones if you look up something else that you like that you can do. But these are just a few of your options. Now we're going to go to the dynamic. So you're moving. Those are stationary stretches. Okay, now we're going to dynamic stretches. First one we're going to do is a knee hug to a lunge. Knee hug, lunge. You can get a little rotation here if you want it. Okay. Another one would be a quad pull. So quad pull to toe touch. All right. Another option, reverse lunge, okay, with the hip open. So I'm gonna bring that knee high and wide. So from the front, it'd look like that. I'd step it back, okay? So knee high and wide, step it back, overhead reach. Another option is ankle cradle. Okay, so you can just do a walking ankle cradle. From the front, it's right here. You grab at the ankle and about mid-shin and you just pull up. Okay, so you can just do a walking ankle cradle. Another one is a lateral lunge. Okay, so you're gonna almost think of like going over hurdle with this leg, up and over, into that lateral lunge, sit it to both sides. Okay. You can pivot around for your next one. All right, I'm gonna go back this direction just to hit the other side. Up and over, sit to each side. So that'd be a lateral lunge. Spider-Man crawl. This is the one that I call this a little different than what you're reading. There's a Spider-Man crawl in your reading, okay? They're a little different, both really good dynamic stretches. You can do either one of them, okay? My Spider-Man crawl looks like this. I'm moving forward, okay? My back leg is straight. My front leg is up by my hands, okay? From here, I can even add a little bit of rotation. So this would be a Spider-Man crawl with a reach, all right? Or some T-spine rotation. Then when I step, I'm gonna keep my hips low, step that next foot right up to my hands. Once again, I can get some rotations if I want. Keep my hips low as I transition. So that would be a Spider-Man crawl. Leopard crawl. So I didn't go over this one, but bear crawls can also be a really good raise activity, okay? Raise activity could be bear crawls, all right? So that's just gonna be right here. You go forward, backward, and side to side, okay? So that might be a good raise activity, okay? So to kind of put that back with that category. With this, now we're getting a little more specific than the activate and mobilize. This is gonna be more of the activate portion of this second phase, but leopard crawls, okay? So this, you're gonna have a lot more trunk activation here and stabilization. So with this one, with this crawl, my back is gonna stay flat. My knees are only a couple inches off the ground, and I'm gonna coordinate my leg and arm to move opposite arm, opposite leg, okay? And you wanna think of keeping your back nice and flat. This is gonna have to turn on a lot more with that movement. So like I said, leopard crawls would be more in the mobilize and activate. The bear crawls would be better in the raise category, okay? All right, now we're gonna move on to potentiation, okay? So with this, I'm not gonna necessarily go over as many drills. I just wanna re-explain what you're doing here. So when you're warming your kids up, you wanna think kind of starting down here with intensity and getting up to here, right? You're getting them ready for the intensity of the activity that they're about to do. So now we're at potentiation. If there's a lot of speed and power involved in your sports practice, and once again, this is warming your athletes up for their sport, okay? Warming your athletes up for their sport, not the weight room yet, okay? You wanna get them ready for that intensity. So if there's a lot of power and speed, this potentiation part of the warm-up, this third phase, is gonna be really, really important. You're gonna wanna spend a little more time here, okay? So some pretty generic ones that you can do are just sprint buildups, okay? Say you have a 10-yard buildup, okay, and then they can coast out for some time. But say you want to go 50%, then 75%, and then 100%. So you're building up that intensity of that sprint, okay, and getting them ready to sprint within their sport, all right? There's a lot of different cutting drills. If there's a lot of cutting involved in their sport that they're needing to get ready for, you probably need to put some cutting actions into the warm-up, okay? So that could be a lateral cut or a back and forth cut. So maybe they got to back pedal and sprint forward a lot. Okay, I may start my athletes on the goal line, okay? Say this line right here is the goal line. If I blow my whistle and I say, hey, you're gonna back pedal to this line and then sprint forward, okay? That's their drill, all right? That's getting them ready for just a very short amount. It's not super intense yet because it's a very short distance, but it's getting them ready to get into that activity of backpedaling, reversing, and coming forward. You could do it laterally as well, okay? Maybe it's a lateral drill, so blow my whistle, they gotta shuffle, and then get back, okay? So you wanna look at some of their activities that they're gonna be doing, shorten them up a little bit, and almost put a preview into this potentiation part. But this is gonna be the highest intensity of your warm-up. So this is gonna be when they're moving the fastest. If you're wanting to do jumps at this point, all right, now their jumps need to be a little higher intensity. We talked about you could do some squat jumps, some lateral bounds in the raise portion when it's lower intensity. Now, if you're wanting to do some of those movements, right, if you want to do a squat jump, set, reset, because I want every single one of those jumps to be as high as they can, okay? So this one, you might have a little more rest in between because you want to see a higher intensity. All right, so there's a lot of different jumps that they could do here. Vertical, broad jump. Okay. That lateral bound I already demonstrated, so maybe this is what that raise category looks like. If they do this at the potentiation part, it might look, okay, they're getting a lot further with those lateral bounds. Okay, so it's just raising the intensity here. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Like I said, this is stuff that we'll be going over in here. Group A has already gone over this. Group B will be going over this with me next week. If you guys have any questions, let me know.